One of the most common questions I get from business owners is how can AI help my business? And part of the problem is that AI has very much turned into a buzzword. So you don't really know what actually is AI versus what's not AI and what can actually help you versus what's just, marketing material to just get you guys to buy something that doesn't have any use for you. The purpose of this video is to help you clearly understand where you should and shouldn't use AI in your business, and more importantly, why you might just need automation over AI. I'm also going to give you the exact frameworks I use to help my clients determine if they need to use an employee, automation, or AI within their business. Quick introduction. My name is Jeet. I run an operations automations agency that helps businesses streamline their operations and then use AI to automate the boring work. We primarily help service-based businesses scale to multi-7 and 8 figures by becoming their AI automation partner. By this point in time, we've helped businesses save anywhere from $10,000 to $100,000 per month and even help them scale 2-3x without having to hire more people or increase their operational overhead. Let's get started. So the first concept that I want to touch on is that AI and automation are not the same. And I know they sound similar because ultimately AI is automating something, but just because something is automation doesn't mean that it's AI. Automation is about transferring data, keeping things in sync, and reducing manual work. It's the digital equivalent of moving papers from one desk to another, one software to another, one program to another. AI, on the other hand, is about using LLMs like ChatGPT, machine learning like predictive models, and mathematical models to replace more complex human work. Let me kind of break this down side by side. So automation. Typically when we're using automation, we're using no-code tools like Zapier, Make, and N8N. We're very often copy-pasting data between softwares to keep things in sync. So think of it like a new lead comes to your CRM, they end up closing, and now you want to add them to your project management system. The process of that lead's information going from your CRM to your project management system, that is a no-code automation here. Right, automatically creating and assigning tasks to employees. So let's say a new project comes in and there's like 5 different boards you need to update at once and you need to like assign people to that task. You can use automation to assign that out to the people. Sending auto-generated email reminders, sending text messages to employees when a new lead comes in. This is all simple stuff that a no-code automation can do. On the other hand, AI is using some of the more cutting-edge technology like OpenAI, Claude, regression models, machine learning models, right? Like think of it like the top of the top, big data, scientific, at the edge of innovation type of stuff. So some of the stuff that we can do with AI is crafting a customized email response to customer tickets so humans don't have to, scoring lead quality based on lead details. So let's say like 100 leads come in every single day for your salesman and you want to prioritize them based on their lead quality. We can use AI to go into a company website or look at the data, look at the information that we've been given and score the lead from like, let's say 1 to 5 and accordingly have your salesman reach out to them. Predicting sales from next quarter. So let's say you have 3 years worth of sales data and you want to predict for next month, how much is my sales going to be based on these 3 previous years. We're going to use a machine learning model to do something like that. The key takeaway here is that automation are simple tasks that we're automating, and oftentimes we can even use custom code for that, but it's very much if A, then B type of situation, right? If the lead is here, move it here. If I get some data here, then move it here. Like it's very formulaic. It is very much just using custom code, but we're using a no-code tool to do it. Whereas with AI, it's more open problems, right? Like if an email comes through, we don't really know. There's no defined way to respond to it in a personalized manner. We have to actually think through things and analyze the data and then find a solution. So accuracy-wise, automation is going to be 100% because oftentimes we're just doing the same thing over and over again. Whereas with AI, it's more low to medium, sometimes high depending on how well we can get it, depending on the quality of data. Cost-wise, the answer is it really depends, but I'm going to give you guys a rough breakdown here just to put some pen to paper. Automation is going to run you anywhere from $10 to $100 per month. Typically, it's just the cost to run these no-code tools and maybe have some custom code sitting on the side. AI, on the other hand, is going to be a little more expensive, anywhere from $10 to $500 per month. If we're going to use an LLM like ChatGPT, Claude, or anything like that, it's going to be usage-based, and that price is going down. But if we're going to use some of the more older techniques like machine learning, it will go up to 5 to 6 figures per month, depending on the tech stack. If you guys want a cloud solution, if you guys want an on-premise, and so on. So key takeaway here is that AI is going to be more expensive. Automation is very cheap. Now let's get into the meat and potatoes of this video, which is why most businesses don't need AI. The main thing I want to drive home here is that AI will not solve your business problems. You can really just think of it like a low IQ employee that assists your company. Despite the marketing you see online, it is not a magic bullet for your business. And I say this because very often, I would say 90% of the time when I get on a call with business owners, they just expect AI to somehow magically make their problems vanish, which is just not the case, right? Like just yesterday, I had a sales call with someone. He was doing about 3 to 5 million. He was actually at 10 million a couple years ago and had to scale back down because of operational constraints. And when we actually got down to the bottom of it, it turned out that his problem was hiring. And he wanted me to find a way to use AI to help him with hiring. What I have to tell him pretty straight up is that AI is not going to build hiring funnels for you. It's not going to go onto Indeed and make some job ad automatically and qualify applicants and like automatically call them and phone screen them. Like, it's just not going to work. Like, it can be done, but your time is better spent and probably cheaper just by hiring someone to do it or doing it yourself. It's like this magic thing, and I understand like why you guys think this way. It's probably because you guys don't understand how AI works. So it's pretty reasonable to think like this, but I'm trying to take away the magic and kind of pull the curtains and see and help you understand what AI can and cannot do. So the reality is most businesses doing under 20 million don't need complex AI setups. They need solid operational foundations. This includes systems, project management tools, and automations that match their operational process and actually work. If your team is still using spreadsheets, manual follow-ups, or struggling to track project progress, you have a bigger fish to fry than AI. Like I said before, right? Accuracy-wise, AI is only going to be medium, maybe like 70-80% at absolute best if you have the perfect machine learning model or whatever model you end up picking with the perfect data, with the perfect training. And so when we're bringing AI into a business, it's very much a like R&D, like we're not going to rely on it, but we're going to use it to assist us in helping us with our team. All this to say, if your softwares don't talk to each other right now, if you have a dedicated person that's doing data entry and copy pasting, you need automation. You don't need AI. If you're using communication to track tasks, that might even be as simple as adding each other in a group chat. You need a project management system. Again, having AI come in between and talking to the AI saying I'm done with this and having the AI reach out to another person is just not going to be efficient. It's just going to waste more time and cause more headaches and cause more mistakes in the long run. If you feel like you're reactively running your business as the fires come instead of proactively solving it, again, this is an operational foundation problem. No amount of AI is going to help you scale because you're not getting to the root cause of it. On the other hand, if you have a problem that requires reviewing through large chunks of data, text, or numbers to make an informed decision, AI could be a candidate or a way of actually solving this problem. I'm not saying it will, because there are many instances in which you might just be better off hiring like a $5, $10 per hour VA to do it versus a machine learning model. But there's more nuance here, right? That's kind of where if you get on a call with me, I can help you out there. If the task isn't mission critical or accuracy doesn't have to be 100%, that's another clear sign that AI is a candidate, because again, AI is never going to be 100% accurate. So you're always going to need someone or something that's checking it on the back end. That could be a computer, that could be an employee. So that's another good sign that AI might actually be fitting the bill. This leads into probably one of the most common mistakes I see business owners make when they get on a sales call with me. And it's that the purpose of AI and automation is to save your team time and reduce your bottom line. If it is not doing this, why are you even thinking about using either one? Like, it doesn't make sense, right? Like, ultimately, if your goal is to make more money, or assuming your goal is to make more money, AI should in some tangible way help you do that. Let's say you have 5 clients right now and 5 team members. The idea is, with the help of AI and automation, you can cut down the team's workload so that now they can take on 2 clients per team member. So now you have 5 team members, but you have 10 clients. So you've doubled your business while keeping your operational overhead the same. So you've kind of almost 2x your business, right? Hopefully that's making sense. If there's no clear way of using AI to help you save time or money, then just don't even use it. Like, there's no point. Key takeaway, if your business lacks a solid operational backbone, adding AI will only amplify the chaos. Now let's get into the framework. So this is something I use internally when I'm thinking through when a business owner comes to me. Can we use AI? Can we use automation? Is it even worth my time? Is it worth their time? And so on. So the first question I ask myself is, can this be SOP'd out? Like, is there a way to teach a machine to actually do this? If the answer is no, if it differs from task to task, if it differs from company to company, if it differs from client to client, then just use a human. It's probably cheaper. It's going to cause you less headache. Something that people often forget is that it's going to be more costly for you to put an AI into your business and it make mistakes and you have to correct it every single time versus just having a human do it right the first time. If the answer is yes, I can SOP it to some level, then the next question I ask myself is, does it require some level of thinking, right? Is it just me sitting in my desk and copy pasting data all day? Or is it something that requires more complexity? Is there more nuance? Do I have to kind of think through, is it this insurance provider or that insurance provider? Is it this company? Is it this sales script or that sales script? If the answer is no, it doesn't require that much thinking, I would personally use automation. If the answer is yes, then we probably have to use some kind of AI. At this point, I'm trying to figure out, is this a numbers or a words problem? What I mean by numbers is that, is this looking through a lot of sales data, and I mean like the actual like the dollar amounts. Is this looking at KPIs? Is this looking at the customer reviews, but it's like on a number scale from 1 to 10? If the answer is yes, we need to use numbers, then I would use machine learning. If the answer is to use words, so this could be reviewing through customer tickets where they're actually like typing out different responses. It could be customer emails. It could be looking through documents, but these are like Word documents. So I mean like PDFs with textbooks or information or like anything that involves words, qualitative data. I would use an LLM to kind of solve that problem. So hopefully this is useful. Typically business owners would want me to kind of do this for them, but if you want to do this yourself, this is the framework I use personally to figure that out for you. Real quick, how can you check if you're able to use automation or AI within your software? The answer is your software must have an API of some kind to use any kind of automation or AI in parentheses. API is one of those fancy words I feel like people kind of get scared to talk about because it sounds very technical, but it's really just an entry point into your software system. So think of it like a front door that lets you connect different tools and systems. A quick example of that is, let's say you've got a CRM that's sitting and has got all the sales data about the lead, and let's say they've closed. So now you want to put them into your industry software, your project management tool, whatever that is. The process of taking that lead information and putting it into your industry software, that's going to require a computer to come in to your software, like almost like open the database records and put that information there. So that's really all an API is. It's the ability for another computer to come into your software and make changes, add records, add data, and so on. A quick note here is that not all software providers like to give an API because oftentimes we're building some kind of custom functionality that these software providers would rather that they do themselves, right? Because you're almost like taking away their money by doing this custom stuff. And actually a lot of what we do internally is build internal tools to complement your software, which not every company is happy about. So the way you actually figure that out is by just searching up the software name followed by API, so Airtable API or HubSpot API. If it has an API, you'll usually find a dedicated section on the website or some kind of documentation or help section or something saying that we can do it. You can also just go into a tool like Make or Zapier and see if there's an integration capability. Typically, if it offers an integration with Make or Zapier, then there's probably an API on the back end that Make is kind of taking care of for you. The key takeaway here is that if you do not have an API, your automation options are very limited, and that's just the reality of the situation. For our paid clients, we actually have a couple workarounds that we do so that we can get around, but I'm going to leave that for our paid clients. All right, so to wrap this video up, the bottom line is that most of what gets marketed as AI these days is just automation with a fancy label. Real AI involves machine learning, natural language processing, and complex algorithm, not just moving data around. The good news is that 95% of businesses do not need AI. If you're watching this video, there's a good chance you just need simple automations, not AI. And this also goes without saying, there's obviously a lot more nuance to this. So if you want my personal help in helping you clean up your operations, automating your employees' most cumbersome task, and really just having a no BS AI partner by your side as you continue to scale, visit my website, applygpt.com. I'll put it in the description down below. And hopefully you guys got some use out of this. If you enjoyed it, hit the like button, subscribe if you want more in-depth AI and automation tutorial specifically for business owners just like this. And I'll talk to you guys on the next one. Bye-bye.